Hello, Standard 9. In this session of English, we will see a poem. Sorry, not a poem, it's a chapter. Named The Little Girl. Okay, we will see a lesson, and this is lesson number 3 from your book Beehive. This is chapter from your book Beehive, chapter number 3. The name of the chapter is The Little Girl. And who is the author of this lesson? The author of this lesson is Katherine Mansfield. Katherine Mansfield. Okay? Book's name Beehive, chapter number 3. Name of the lesson The Little Girl, class 9, and the author of this lesson Katherine Mansfield. First, we will have an introduction about the author. Who was Katherine Mansfield? Where was she born? About her books, education, and everything. Then I'll give you an introduction about the story of the little girl, what is the lesson about, and then the whole explanation of the chapter. First, let's meet the author. Katherine Mansfield was born in 1888 into a socially prominent family in Thorndon, Wellington, New Zealand. Where was she born? She was born in Thorndon, Wellington, and that is in New Zealand. Mansfield's numerous short stories pioneered the genre shape in the 20th century. Means whatever story she wrote, that story used to be based on 20th century. Her fiction, poetry, journals, and letters cover an array of subjects like the difficulties and ambivalences of families and sexuality, the fragility and vulnerability of relationships, and complexities and sensitivities of the rising middle classes, the social consequences of war, and overwhelming the attempt to extract whatever beauty and vitality one can from mundane and increasingly difficult experience. Means here these all things, fictions, poems, journals, letters of the cover of the array of subject and etc. These are the topics on which she used to write. These were the subjects on which she used to write, mostly in her poems, in her collections, in her stories. Educated in Wellington, Katherine Mansfield was educated in Wellington and London. Mansfield left New Zealand for England at the age of 19 to begin a career of an author. To begin a career of an author, she left New Zealand and went to England at the age of 19. And there she started her career of author. Much of Mansfield's early work is in the form of the sketch, in which a segment of file is described, highly popular in journals of the time. Okay, now some list of her short stories. The Tiredness of Rosabelle in 1908, A Birthday in 1911, A Truthful Adventure 1911, How Pearl Button Was Kidnapped 1912, German at Meat 1911, A Blaze 1911, The Journey of Bridges 1911, and New Dresses 1912. Now some of her other collections are In a German Pension 1911, Bliss and Other Stories 1912, The Garden Party and Other Stories, 1922. The Dove's Nest and Other Stories, 1923. Poems in 1923. Something Childish and Other Stories in 1924. And the Journal of Catherine Mansfield in 1927 and 1954. Okay, so these were some of the stories and collections of Kathleen Mansfield, from which one we are going to read, learn and understand today, that is The Little Girl. What is she trying to say in this? Okay, now in this story, we look at the title. If we look at the title says A Little Girl. Okay, the title of the story refers to the main character here. The main character of this story of this lesson is Kezia. 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 The theme of the story is the relationship between the children and their parents. In the whole story, we will see the relation between the parents and the children. Okay, the writer Catherine Mansfield wants to tell us that children share a very important bond of love with their parents. All the children are attached with their parents. They have a great bonding with their parents. Okay? Although when children are small, when they are young, they do not feel that their parents love them. Because why? Because parents are strict and many actions of the parents seem to be unjustified. Because parents are concerned about you. Okay? So sometimes their strict behavior is not justified by you. You feel like, okay, the parents are bounding us for something, but you are not understanding the truth behind that. Why are they doing so? But as children grow up, they realize that all the parents were concerned for them, and beneath the strictness lies a heart full of love for the children. Do you think that your parents are strict towards you, but they don't love you? No. Behind that strictness lies a heart full of love, my dear children. And this bond of love between the parent and their children has been highlighted in this story. When you will listen this story with me, understand this story with me, you will understand the bond of love between the parents and the children. Today your parents are strict towards you, but later you will understand why were they strict to you and how good their strictness was. We only see the negative points, okay, but we don't see the love which they have for us in their heart. None of the parents are so who don't love their children. Can anybody tell me, any of the students right now listening to me can tell me that their parents don't love them? Because they are strict, you can't think that they don't love you. So something like this, something related with this, we will see in this lesson. The main character of this lesson is Kezia. Okay? Now Kezia in this story has a fear about her father. What fear does she have? Before moving to the chapter, tell me, do you feel you know your parents better now than when you were much younger? Means here I am trying to say that when we were small, or you can say when we were very small, we do not know why our parents are being strict with us. But as we grow older, we become mature, we realize that they were being strict to us, why they were being strict to us. Okay, and when we realize the thing, then we also realize that our parents, why were our parents strict? Because they loved us. Because they love us. So even the reader in this can also relate to this. Means when you will learn this lesson, when you will read this lesson or listen to this lesson, you will relate yourself with it. That, oh, this thing has happened with me also. You can also feel that when you were younger, the action you parents did, the strictness which they showed towards you were for your betterment. And so you will grow, when you grow older and older, you will realize that in the past, whatever acts your parents did was for your betterment. And in fact, it is true that they really love you. Okay, as I told you that in this story, it is about a little girl whose feelings for her father change from fear to understanding. Okay, will probably find an echo in every home. Now, what do you mean by this? Will probably find an echo in every home. It means that all the children will feel the same way as the main character in our story, Kezia, feels. So you can relate the feelings of Kezia with yourself. Now Kezia is full of fear with her father, right? But later on, when she understands his behavior and feels that he was concerned and loved her, all the children also have the same feelings towards their parents. Today, many of the students who are listening to me, you children, some of you may be afraid from your father. But do you think that your father doesn't love you? Because he is strict, you are scared of him. But it's not true. His strictness is only for your betterment. Try to see the love behind that strictness, my dears. Okay? So, all the children also have the same feeling towards their parents. And so, when you will listen to this story, you will relate yourself with Kezia. Keep yourself at the place of Kezia and then listen to it. Okay? Now to the girl, I'm reading this lesson also. So you have to pay attention in your book when you listen to this. To the little girl, he was a figure to fear and avoided. Means here whom they are talking about? They are talking about Kezia. Kezia and her father. Kezia's father was a figure of fear for her. She avoided him. Okay? So, he here refers to Kezia's father and the little girl Kezia. So, in the starting of the lesson only, it is telling us that Kezia has fear for her father. Okay, and as she is fearful of her father, she tries to avoid him and remain far from her. Every morning before going to work, he came into her room and gave her a casual kiss, to which she responded with, "Goodbye, father." Now every morning when Kezia's father used to go for work, he used to come to Kezia's room. He used to give him a casual kiss as the father gives to her children. And in reply, Kezia used to say, "Goodbye, father." Okay? By this action, it has been understood that this action shows Kezia's father love towards Kezia. Okay? And there was a glad sense of relief when she heard the noise of the carriage going fainter and fainter down the long road. When she heard, now in those days there were no cars or no bikes or nothing. Okay, in olden days, people used to go by carriages which were drawn by the horses. Okay, so here it has been said that when so here it has been said that the carriages like horse carts were the means of conveyances in olden days. Okay, so here we can say, make out that the fear of Kezia of her father by this thing we can easily understand. The writer here says that when Kezia heard her father's carriage going away from the home, he was leaving the home, and when the sound of the carriage became fainter and fainter, that was the sound when she felt that was a sense of relaxation for her. She would feel relieved when her father left. Okay, and why did she feel relieved? Because she feared about her father. She was afraid of him, and so she relieved herself. She felt relaxed whenever she used to hear her father going away. Okay, now how did Kezia come before her father in the evening when her father used to arrive from the office? In the evening, when he came home, she stood near the staircase and heard his loud voice in the hall. In the evenings, when Kezia's father would return home, she would hear to the loud sound, and his loud voice again made her afraid. Now, because Kezia's father's voice was loud, she was afraid of that. Okay, and this was also one of the reasons why she was afraid of her father. Bring my tea into the drawing room. Hasn't the paper come yet? Mother, go and see if my paper's out there and bring me my slippers. So as Kezia's father returned home, he would start ordering for different things. Bring me a cup of tea, bring me the newspaper. Okay, and he was asked his mother to go and see if the newspaper was there and get him the slippers also. Okay, so what would Kezia's mother do after that? When Kezia's mother got all this order from her husband, what should she do to Kezia? She would say to Kezia, mother would call to her, if you are a good girl, you can come down and take off your father's boots. Now Kezia's mother would call Kezia to remove her father's boot. In order to make her obey, she would say that if she was a good girl, she would surely come and obey her command. Now slowly the girl would slip down the stairs, move slowly till across the hall and push open the drawing door. Now Kezia, as she was afraid of her father, she used to unwillingly, you can say, unwillingly do whatever her mother said. She would come down the stairs slowly, unwillingly, okay, because she did not want to face her father, and as she was feared of him. But by the time he had his spectacles on and looked at her over them in the way that was terrifying for the little girl. Now just imagine Kezia's father sitting in the drawing room on the sofa wearing the spectacles, glasses, and he is looking at Kezia over the spectacles. Now looking that way really terrified. Terrified means more scared, frightened, you can see, Kezia. She was horrified because maybe it seemed to her that he was staring at her. Now further this, what would her father say? Well, Kezia, hurry up, pull off these boots and take them outside. Have you been a good girl today? Now Kezia was reluctant in her work. She was slow in her motion, and so her father would tell her to hurry up and remove his boots and keep them out the room. And then he would ask her if she was a good girl the whole day. I don't know, father. And Kezia replied that she did not know. So why was she stammering? Because she was not confident. Okay, and a person is not confident when he or she has a feeling of fear. And when does this happen? This stammering happens whenever you are in fear. Okay? You don't know, if you stutter like that, mother will have to take you to the doctor. So here, as Kezia was stammering, her father also replied in the way of copying her. He also stammers like she did, and also said to her that if you stutters in such a way, mother would have to take you to the doctor for the checkup. She never stuttered with other people. Now, Kezia never stuttered with other people. Had quite given it up, but only with her father. Now, only she stuttered with her father, because then she was trying so hard to say the words properly, and then too she was trying too hard to talk properly with her father. Okay? But why does this happen with her father? When she talked to her father, why did she stammer? She stammered because she lacked confidence, and that is why she tried very hard to speak properly. But then too she stammered. What's the matter? Why are you looking so wretched about? Mother, I wish you taught this child not to appear on the brink of suicide. Here, Kezia, carry up teacup back to the table carefully. Now Kezia's father looks at her. He feels that something is wrong with her. So he asks her why is she so unhappy? And when he tells the mother that she would teach Kezia to behave in a better way, she should not appear as she is so unhappy that she would end up her life. She is looking so unhappy. Here Kezia's father is telling to her mother that why is Kezia looking so unhappy? She is looking so unhappy as if she is going to end up her life. So he wants to say that Kezia seems to be so unhappy with her life that she did not want to live any longer. And he hands up the teacup to her and asks her to place it back on the table. He was so big, his hands and his neck, especially his mouth when he yawned. Thinking about him alone was like nothing about a giant. Now here in this feeling, it is a vision of Kezia has for her father. She feels that her father was so big that he just looked like a giant. Okay? Kezia felt that his hands and leg and mouth were all huge, especially when he yawned. It seemed that if he was a huge monster. This is all what Kezia thought about her father. And these are all the reasons because she was afraid of him. And whenever Kezia thought about her father, she felt that she was thinking about a giant. Now here till now we have seen that how Kezia was afraid about her father, afraid for her father. Okay, and what did she think about? Now one Sunday afternoon, such thing happened that Now what happened one Sunday afternoon? One Sunday afternoon, grandmother sent Kezia down to the drawing room to to have a nice talk with her father and mother. Okay? On the Sunday afternoon, grandmother asked Kezia to have a talk with her mother and father. Right? But the little girl always found mother reading and father stretched out on the sofa, his handkerchief was on his face, like this. His feet on one of the best cushions, sleeping soundly and snoring. Now one afternoon, Kezia's grandmother sent her downstairs to the drawing room and told her that have a nice talk with your father and a mother. Now as Kezia went down, she felt a bit neglected because every Sunday afternoon when she went to her parents to meet them, in the drawing room she would see that they were busy with their own things. Okay, her mother was busy in reading some book or newspaper and something like that, and her father was busy sleeping with on the sofa stretched out with leg on one cushion, handkerchief on the face, sleeping and snoring. So Kezia had this image of her parents in her mind. They did not want to talk to her. Okay, they didn't spend time with her, and on the other hand, they were too busy with their things. So what did Kezia do? She sat on the stool, gravely watched him until he woke and stretched and asked the time, then looked at her. Okay. Now what would Kezia do after seeing to this that the parents are busy with their own work? She used to go sit on the table, seriously watch at his father to wake him up till he gets wake up. Okay, she would just sit on the stool, watch him carefully, and as he would wake up, stretch his body and would ask the time and look at her. Don't stare so, Kezia. You look like an little brown owl. Now as when Kezia used to stare at her father used to compare Kezia to a little brown owl and would say to Kezia, Kezia, stop staring at me like an owl does. Okay? One day when she kept indoors with a cold, her grandmother told her that father's birthday was next week. Okay? Father's birthday was next week. And her grandmother suggested to make him a pin cushion for a gift out of a beautiful piece of yellow silk. Now Kezia had cold. She was not well. She was supposed to stay at home. So her grandmother suggested that as she was at home, she can make a birthday gift for her father because father's birthday was approaching. She asked Kezia to make a pin cushion. Okay? And also gave Kezia a yellow colored fabric, silk fabric that was of yellow color to make the cushion. Laboriously, with a double cotton, the little girl stitched 3 sides. Laboriously means with lots of effort, lots of hard work. Okay? Lots of hard work. She made the cushion. She made a cover, you can say, okay? Outer cover. Putting a lot of effort, she used double cotton, that is told the thread, and stitched 3 sides of the cushion. 3 sides. The 4th side was open so that she could stuff cotton or something inside. What to fill with it? Now that was a question, because to make the cushion you have to put inside something, either clothes, either the pieces of clothes, bits of clothes or cotton or anything else. Now Kezia had prepared the bag. The back shape was of the cushion. She had to stitch the 4th side, but because now for the 4th side, to stitch the 4th side, she has to stuff into it, and what should she stuff? She didn't know. Now the grandmother was out in the garden. She wandered into mother's bedroom to look for the scraps. Now first she thought of asking to the grandmother, but the grandmother was busy in the garden. So she went into the mother's bedroom. She went into her mother's bedroom to look if she could get something to stuff into the cushion. Okay, stuff into the cushion. On the bed table, she discovered a great many sheets of fine paper, gathered them up, tore them into tiny pieces and stuffed into the case. She sewed the 4th side. Okay? Now when she entered to her mother's room, she found that on the bed table there were some sheets of paper. She took that paper, gathered it, tore them and stuffed that paper pieces into the cushion. Then she stitched the fourth side and prepared the birthday gift for her father. Okay. Now so many of you can relate this Kezia's act. Many children do such things unknowingly. Whenever you want to give a surprise to your mother or the father on their birthday or Father's Day or Mother's Day, such unknown things are being done by you also. Now here you can relate this Kezia's activity with yourself, that such kind of activity may be done by you sometimes. They do not intend to create any mischief or harm anyone, but they end up doing it when Kezia had torn some important paper. Means the activities, the surprise which you want to give to your father or your mother or whatever activities you do at that time, that activities that is not one kind of a mischief of yours, but that you do it unknowingly, and that unknowing thing ends up with a very big mess because you do that thing without any information or instructions. So same thing Kezia did when she made the cushion for her father. She had stuffed some important speech of papers which was of her father, and she did not know about it. And what did she do? She tore that papers and stuffed them into the cushion, and this she did unknowingly. She didn't know that these sheets belonged to her father, and they had an important speech which her father had to deliver. All these things happened unknowingly. Now Kezia had torn the paper and stuffed into the cushion. That night there was a hue and cry in the house. Father's great speech for the Port Authority had been lost. Now there was a lot of shouting in the house because Kezia's father had prepared a speech for the Port Authority. That is called a particular meeting, you can say. Okay, and now he was unable to find that. Now we all know that where was the speech? It was in Kezia's cushion, stuffed into Kezia's cushion. Okay, it has been torn into the pieces and Kezia had stuffed into the cushion. Now everywhere it was been searched. Rooms were searched, servants were questioned. Finally mother came into Kezia's room. Okay, now for finding that paper everybody was questioned. The servant, the mother, the rooms were searched, and then mother came into Kezia's room. Kezia, I suppose you didn't see some papers on the table in our room. So Kezia's mother asked her that did she see some papers lying on the table of the mother's room. Oh yes, I tore them up for my surprise. What did she say? Yes mother, I tore that papers for my surprise. Now here we get to see Kezia as an innocent girl. She did not intend to harm anyone. She was just preparing the birthday gift for her surprise birthday gift for her father. And so truly she tells to her mother that yes, she found the pieces of paper. She had torn it and used them for the stuff. That is the birthday gift which she had prepared for her father's birthday. But unknowingly here Kezia had done a great disaster. Listening to this, her mother shouted, "What? Come down straight to the dining room this instant." Okay? What did her mother tell her? Her mother told her that come downstairs right now. Okay? Because listening to this, her mother also got angry that unknowingly, without asking, Kezia had torn some important papers. So she orders Kezia to come down into the dining room that very moment. Instant means right now. and she was dragged down to where father was pacing to and fro, hands with his back. To and fro means sometimes when your father, you must have seen in your house when your parents are in tension, mother or father, they just little here and there with their hands back. They move from here to there, here to there. Same thing happened. Same thing happened. Now Kezia's father was in full tension because his important documents had been lost. Kezia had torn into pieces. Now Kezia will be scolded for the mischief she had done. Well, she said sharply. Mother explained. He stopped and stared at the child. Did you do that? No, she whispered. Mother, go up to her room, fetch down the damn thing. She see that the child puts to the bed this instant. Okay? So now, why is Kezia's father referring to the cushion that she has prepared as a damn thing? Because he is angry at the cushion. Now, because of that cushion, his important papers were being torn. Because Kezia had torn his important documents to prepare it, he was angry with that cushion. Okay? Now, he is very angry with Kezia also. He stared at her and asked her if she had torn the papers. Kezia was so scared that she began to again stammer. And then Kezia's father ordered to go and bring that cushion downstairs and asked her to put Kezia into the bed at that very moment. Okay, he said that bring that cushion down and put Kezia to bed, tell her to sleep. Crying too much to explain, she lay into the shadowed room, watching the evening light make a sad little pattern on the floor. Okay? Now Kezia wanted to justify her action as she was innocent. She did not mean to harm her father. She was just preparing a surprise gift for him. Kezia was very sad with this. So she had been happy that she had prepared a gift for her father, but she did not know that this thing would happen and he would like it. But on the other hand, she had accidentally committed a disaster. What did Kezia think? Kezia thought that she would make a beautiful surprise birthday gift for her father, and when her father would receive it, he would be very happy after looking at it. But it totally turned opposite. On the other hand, it was accidentally she committed a disaster. Now after this, the father came into the room with a ruler in his hands. And what did he say? He wanted to punish. So he said that I am going to beat you for this. No, she screamed, hiding under the bedclothes. Now when she came to know that her father was going to beat her for this thing, she hid herself in the bedclothes. Bedclothes means the bed sheet, quilt, anything you can say. He pulled them aside. Sit up, he ordered, and hold out your hands. You must be taught once and for all not to touch what does not belong to you. Okay? So what did her father say? Her father said that you are supposed to be punished. Okay? Because he wanted to teach her these things so that it benefited her for the future life. Next time, whenever she wants anything, she would ask for it. Right now, she is a small child and she did not know what was important and what was not important. So that is why unknowingly she torn the important document of her father. So if her father once punishes her, she would next time while doing this, she would think 100 times. Here her father does not want to harm her. The father does not want to harm Kezia. He only wanted that Kezia should know that in future she should not touch anything that does not belong to her. Okay? Now what was Kezia's reaction on this? When Kezia heard that her father is going to beat her for this, she said that what she did was for his birthday. Kezia tried to explain her position. She said that she had been preparing a birthday gift for her father and had to stuff in it something. She just tore the pages of stuff to stuff them into the cushion. She was trying to explain to him that it was just for preparing her birthday gift. She wanted to give him a surprise. She did not want to tear his important documents. She did not want to make any kind of mischief or harm her father. But Kezia's father did not listen to any of her excuses, and he hit Kezia with the ruler on her pink palms. Hours later, when grandmother had wrapped her in a shawl and rocked her in the rocking chair, the child clung to her soft body. Now Kezia was so afraid that when her father beat her, she was so afraid she had got beating. Her father had hit her small little palms with the ruler, and many hours later her grandmother, when she wrapped her in the shawl and trying to pacify her, she made her sit in her lap on the rocking chair, and she was making Kezia sleep. What did God makes father for? She sobbed. Now Kezia here was not at all comfortable. So what did she do? She said, while sobbing means she was crying. While sobbing, she said that why did God make fathers? She hated her father. She was so innocent that she did not know what wrong she had done. She only knew that she was just preparing a gift for her father. She was so heartbroken that he did not understand her, he did not understand her, and that why had God made fathers. Here's a clean hanky darling, blow your nose, go to sleep, pet, you will forget all about it in the morning. I tried to explain to your father, but he is too upset to listen tonight. Now as Kezia was telling her feelings to her grandmother said that gave her a handkerchief and told her to blow the nose. Okay, and told her to go to sleep. She said that please sleep peacefully, you will forget everything in the morning. You would forget everything in the morning. But the child never forgot. Next time she saw him, she quickly put both hands behind her back and the red color flew into her cheeks. Okay? As her grandmother had told her that go to sleep, you would forget everything. But Kezia never forgot the beating that she had got. Whenever she used to see her father approaching, she would keep her hands behind her back, as if she felt that he may hit her again. Okay, and whenever she saw her father, she got scared and the cheeks of her were full of red. Okay, now the McDonalds lived next door. They had 5 children. Looking through a gap in the fence, the little girl saw, little girl here means Kezia. Kezia saw them playing tag in the evening. The father with the baby Mao on his shoulder, 2 little girls hanging on to his coat pockets, ran round and round like flower beds, shaking with laughter. Once she saw the boys turn the hose on him and he tried to catch them, laughing all the time. Okay, now here the writer is trying to talk now about Kezia's neighbors. Okay, here Kezia's neighbors were the family McDonald's, and in that family the McDonald's had 5 children. Kezia would peep from the fence in the garden. She had a fence. Okay, she would see that the family used to have lots of fun. They used to play tag. What is a tag? A tag is a game that children play catching one another. Okay, while they play catch, you can say. So all the children along with their father were having lots of fun. Here they are also telling that the baby child Mao was sitting on his father's shoulder. The 2 daughters were hanging on their father's pocket. The other 2 children were playing around him. They loved him so much that they asked to stick to him. And then they would run around the garden. Looking at this, Kezia also wanted to have such fun with her father, which she missed. One day, she saw that the little 2 sons of McDonald's opened the hose to him. He opened the water pipe and tried to make them wet. Mr. McDonald was not angry with them. He tried to catch them. He was laughing. Means looking at such all activities, what did Kezia think? Kezia thought that then it was she decided there were different sorts of father too. Now when Kezia saw McDonald's, she realized that he was quite opposite to her father. She felt that God has made different varieties of father. God has made different varieties of father. When she saw the McDonald's family, she felt such thing. Okay. Now one day such thing happened that Kezia's mother was admitted in the hospital. She was ill. So her grandmother and her mother went to the hospital. Means to be admitted in the hospital. Okay. So suddenly one day Kezia's mother became ill and she and her grandmother went to the, she means Kezia's mother and Kezia's grandmother went to the hospital. The little girl was left alone in the house with Alice the cook. Cook means the one who cooks food in your house. If you have been kept anyone for cooking food in your house, it is a cook. So Kezia was left in the house with the cook Alice. That was all right in the daytime, but while night Alice was putting her bed, she grew suddenly afraid. Now Kezia's grandmother and mother both were in the hospital. Kezia was all alone in the house with the cook. Okay. Now all the day long Kezia was fine. Okay. Kezia was fine, but at night, okay, at night Kezia felt very scared. What will I do if I have nightmare? She asked. Now she asked Alice, the cook, that if she had any bad dream, what would she do all alone? I often have nightmare and then Granny takes me into her bed. I can't stay in the dark. It all gets whispery. Now more Kezia explained Alice that whenever she got nightmares means bad dreams, she would go to her grandmother and sleep with her. So she said that she could not stay alone in the dark because she would be scared. She could hear different kinds of whispering sound at night. Okay, which made her feel that someone was around her. Okay, now what is Alice said? Alice said that you just go to sleep, pulling off her socks, and do not scream or wake up your poor pa. She said, what does Alice say? Alice said that you be quiet and sleep. Don't shout or don't scream. She removed Kezia's socks and told her, don't scream, don't shout. Okay, she warned, you can say here, she warned Kezia that don't shout. And wake up your father. Okay, now listening to this, Kezia was helpless. But the same old nightmare came. Every night she used to get one same dream. The same dream came her again. The butcher with a knife and a rope, who came nearer and nearer, smiling with dreadful smile, while she could not move, could only stand still, crying out, "Grandma, Grandma." She woke shivering to see father beside her bed, a candle in his hand. Okay. What is a butcher? Butcher is a person who cuts animals, who cuts meat. Okay. So now it is a nightmare which Kezia gets. What nightmare does she get? She often would see a butcher, and this butcher would hold a big knife, okay, and a huge and a rope, and the butcher would approach Kezia. The butcher had a very dreadful smile. Dreadful smile means a very weird smile, a very scary smile on his face. And once Kezia would see him, she would feel that she was unable to move, okay, and so she was much more scared of the butcher. She was so terrified of this butcher that in the sleep she used to cry for help. She used to call her grandmother, okay, and when she called her grandmother, she again got the dream, and in that dream she saw a butcher with a knife and a rope, and she also saw that the butcher was following her, approaching her. Looking at this, Kezia started shouting, "Grandma, Grandma." When she woke up, she was shivering. Okay, she was shivering with fear. She was trembling, and she saw her father standing next to her, holding a candle in his hand. So Kezia's father had heard the scream, and he heard Kezia calling for help. Okay, and so Kezia's father had come to help her. "What's the matter?" he asked Kezia. He asked Kezia, what was the matter? Why was she screaming? Kezia said, "Oh, a butcher, a knife, I want Granny." Now Kezia was so much scared with the dream she had seen, the nightmare, that she was not able to speak also properly because she was scared, frightened. Okay. Now she said that there was a butcher, he was holding a dreadful knife, and she wanted her grandmother. So what did her father do? He blew out the candle, bent down, and caught up the child in his arms, carrying her along the passage to the big bedroom. So what did Kezia's father do? Kezia's father had a candle in his hand. He blew out that candle. He bent down and took Kezia in his arms. Okay. Here we can see the affection of Kezia's father for Kezia. Okay. He lifted Kezia in his arms and carried her to his bedroom. Okay. The newspaper was on the bed. He put away the paper, then carefully tucked up the child. Now what did Kezia's father do? Kezia's father took her to his bedroom, laid her down on the bed, and covered her with the top sheets. Okay, with the quilt or with the other bed sheet, you can say, he covered Kezia. He lay down beside her, half asleep, still with the butcher's smile all about her, it seemed. She crept close to him, snuggled her head into his arms, held tightly to his shirts. Now what is snuggled? Snuggled means move into a warm, comfortable position closer to other person. Okay. Now Kezia felt her father's affection, and so she went close to him. She snuggled herself into towards her father, and holded her shirt very tightly so that she could not feel scared again. And now Kezia had overcome her fear of her father. Then the dark did not matter, and she lay still. And now the dark did not at all matter her, and she stayed still in the bed. Now Kezia's father lay down beside her. Kezia struggled herself close to her father. Okay? He asked Kezia to rub her feet against his legs to get them warm. Okay? What did Kezia's father say? Rub your feet against my leg to get them warm. Now Kezia was not at all afraid of her father. Okay? She had overcome her fear of her father. Okay? Tired out, he slept before the little girl. A funny feeling came over her. So, as Kezia's father was very tired, he slept before she did. A funny feeling came over her. Poor father, not so big after all, and with no one to look after him, he was harder than grandmother, but it was a night's hardness. And every day he had to work and was too tired to be a Mr. MacDonald. She had torn up all his beautiful writing. She stirred suddenly and sighed. Okay, now here Kezia realized her mistake she had done, and she had affection towards her father. She felt all the things. She felt that her father was a poor man who worked hard. He was not as big as she found to be earlier. Now she felt that her father was a poor man who worked hard, and so he got tired and went to sleep very soon, and so he could not play with her like Mr. MacDonald did with his children. Now Kezia felt that her father's heart was full of love for her. She realizes that she has torn the important documents of her father and the speech he had written. And all this realization makes her take a deep breath. She realizes that she had been wrong, and that is why her father had beaten her. He had been so strict with her. What's the matter? Asked her father. Another dream. Although Kezia's father was asleep, he heard her sigh. Like this. Hearing to that sound, Kezia's father woke up and asked, was she again watching the bad dream? Oh, said the little girl, my head was on your heart. I can hear it going. What a big heart you have got, dear father. What did she say? Kezia replied to her father that she had placed her head on her father's heart and she could hear the heartbeat of her father. And she complimented that her father had a very big heart. So Kezia is showing her love towards her father, and so she realized that her father also loved her. Okay, then she realized that her father also loved her. Okay, so this is all the story about Kezia, that how she was scared about her father and how did she overcome the fear for her father. Now let's see some word meanings related with this chapter. Now moving to the word meanings, our first word is T-E-R-R-I-F-I-E-D, terrified. Okay, what is terrified? Cause to feel extreme fear. What do you mean by terrified? Cause to feel extreme fear. Okay. Next is pin cushion. P-I-N-C-U-S-H-I-O-N. Pin cushion. Pin cushion means a small pad for holding pins. Okay, a small pad for holding pins. Pin cushion means a small pad for holding pins. Next word is pacing. What is the spelling? P-A-C-I-N-G. Pacing. Pacing means walk at a steady speed. Okay, walk at a steady speed. Next is nightmare. N-I-G-H-T-M-A-R-E. Nightmare. What is nightmare? Frightening and unpleasant dream. Frightening and unpleasant dream. Next is Port Authority. P-O-R-T, Port Authority. What do you mean by Port Authority? A port authority means a government commission that manages bridges, tunnels, airports and other such facilities of a port or a city. Okay. Next is sobbed. S-O-B-B-E-D. Sobbed. Sobbed means crying noisily, making sound, making loud convulsive gasps. Okay, sobbing means crying loudly. Fine, so these were the word meanings for today. I hope you have understood the whole chapter. Fine. You'll soon get a worksheet related with this. Only copy the word meanings, okay, and worksheets you will get later with this. Don't copy the whole summary which has been there. Just kindly pay attention on the summary. Fine. Till then, take care of your health. Study well. Bye.